It is February 17th, 2023, the night before Canadian WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber. Tomorrow night from Montreal, but tonight, SmackDown, the go-home show, AEW Rampage. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Tonight, NYC Demon Diva Issa and myself, Glenn Rubenstein, together, just the two of us, to break down everything that happened on an early Rampage and, a tense SmackDown in the build-up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber.
I'm very excited for Elimination Chamber, not gonna lie.
It's gonna be so good, and Montreal is so excited. Tonight, I joked that they were, once again, the conspiracy against Sami Zayn continues with all the audio dropouts. They had to keep censoring it tonight because Montreal was getting rowdy and had some choice words about the tribal chief and some chants there in the main event.
Yeah, a lot of people had choice words today, whether it was Montreal or whether it was on Twitter, huh?
Well, it happens. The big news story tonight, Tony Twitter Fingers, as Alfred Kanoa, who's out tonight, so affectionately calls him, had words for Ariel Helwani tonight, saying, "You're a fraud, Ariel Helwani. You're as legitimate of a reporter as Tony Schiavone." And the reason he said why is because Ariel Helwani does, independent reporting, lots of interviews, was on WWE programming tonight as an on-screen correspondent in Montreal.
Yeah, but Ariel Helwani has been collaborating and doing WWE interviews for a long time, way before he even interviewed Tony Khan.
Yeah. Well, but I think if you're interviewing people, that's one thing, but appearing on programming... And we're not talking about a pre-show. This wasn't like the Sam Roberts pre-show report, you know?
Yeah, but still, just to assume that somebody that's independent and doesn't work for you is not going to take opportunities. I think this is coming from Ariel going on the record saying that Tony Khan is like the worst interview he's ever done. Because you got to remember, that happened too.
Yeah, that'll do it. But that could not detract tonight from SmackDown. Did you watch Rampage today early, at its early time?
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, I kind of watched it as well. Pre-taped Rampage Slam Dunk, where the Elite maintained their Trios Championship over Top Flight and AR Fox. Mm-hmm. Good match.
Excellent.
There was basketball in the match. Because it was Rampage Slam Dunk.
Yeah, but you know what? I get it. They're promoting NBA All-Star, but it always brand basketball stuff. So I wasn't mad at it. It was a great placement of whatever they were promoting.
They should have done a 3-on-3 game.
Right? That would. Oh my god, I would have loved that actually.
I think we would be surprised. Like, I think actually, if it had been a true 3-on-3 pickup game, I think Top Flight would have smoked the Elite.
I think he's pretty good at basketball.
Are they? I think the Bucks would have tried some like Globetrotters-esque trick plays, but ended up like getting it taken to them. That's just a theory, you know?
Yeah, I see your point, but they're pretty decent at the basketball thing. So it was a match. We said it already, but regardless, I mean, the Elite and I thought they did fine. I liked their match on Dynamite a little bit better, but it was fine for what it was.
Well, and the big news, of course, happening after the match when Brody King and Malachi Black, the House of Black, called out the Elite and put them on notice. So that will probably be the next big trios feud.
Or maybe they'll do it for Revolution since we had the pay-per-view coming up. That's what I thought. Like we were talking on the Wednesday night podcast was what trio is there for the Elite now, and the first trio that came to my mind was House of Black. So I'm looking forward to the feud.
Yeah, it should be good. We had a promo from Yuta talking about loved how a smart move it was to leave the best friends to go to the Blackpool Combat Club. Then we had Ricky Starks versus Daniel Garcia, with Ricky Starks getting a win.
Of course, Ricky Starks gets the win, but it's still, this feud with Jericho hasn't really done much for him considering the momentum he had going into his match against MJF. But I'm happy to see him get a win after that ridiculousness that went down with the gauntlet match over on Dynamite.
And Action Andretti appeared, and there was a brawl. And after the match, Sammy Guevara called out Tony Khan, demanding a match with Andretti.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We should get Andretti and Andrade. I think that's the natural pairing.
Hopefully, we see Andrade around here again. He's somewhere with Miro.
Fat Matt 777. Please forgive me, Issa, but Sammy is going to Roman Reigns with a sharpshooter. They're going to try and erase the Montreal screw job tomorrow night at the Chamber.
That's cute. That's cute.
Are you covering tomorrow night's show?
I am.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yep, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see Roman Reigns retain.
If Sami Zayn wins, I'm crashing tomorrow night's podcast. You can't keep me off this podcast.
He's not winning, Glenn. Relax.
Brian Muhammad,
you have the night off.
Thank you for the pound. He could win. Imagine that. Imagine Sami Zayn as the WWE Undisputed Champion.
You and that 777 super chat. Cute stuff.
Be big, I tell you. Well, Jade Cargill beat Vert Vixen for the to retain the TBS championship. What's this up to for Jade? This is like 60 now?
51 or 52, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Last I saw her on TV, she was winning her 50th, so I'm assuming this is 51.
Okay.
The issue with these wins is they're not really building it like the way that they should. I don't know when these wins are happening, but happy for her. 53, somebody's saying 51. I don't know how many wins she has, but she's still undefeated. She's still a beast. I wish that would put her against bigger names at this point, to make it to make these wins really count. You got to start putting her against the top names in the women's division.
I mean, I think she'll get to 100. I think she'll get to 100 wins at this point. Who dethrones her?
I hope so. Nobody's ready to dethrone her at this point. They haven't really built anybody.
Yeah. But no, to Dylan Matthews' point, it feels like only about 3 of the 53 wins really mean anything. So yeah, I think more meaningful opponents will help. But let's talk about the main event tonight: Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland.
Blood.
There was. This was a hell of a match. This was a pay-per-view quality match, and I was almost kind of bummed that they just used this to have Keith Lee come back and not have a clear winner to this. Not that Dustin needed it. Or should have necessarily won, but I really, really like this match a whole lot, and the storyline has been great.
I like that too. It's crazy that Dustin Rhodes is still doing what he's doing in a good level. He's putting on really good matches when we do see him out there at his age, and I personally really liked it. I was really invested, and I was happy to see Keith Lee back. I didn't think that story should have been finished, but keeping him off TV after the brutal attack made sense.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm assuming we're gonna get the Keith Lee and Swerve 1-on-1 at Revolution.
Although when they kept saying no one's coming to save Dustin, for a second I was like, Cody in a mask? Like, what can we do here? What can we do?
I don't know. Maybe the whole women's division should have came out to save him, since I heard that Dustin has been really helping out a lot of the women in the women's division in AEW.
I mean, he's very talented. He's doing some of the best work of his career at this late stage. And emotionally, I feel very invested in him getting that win, but I understand why Swerve needs to keep his dominant streak going.
And they use him in a very smart way. You don't see Dustin Rhodes out there every week, so when his matches do happen, you become invested and they feel like a big deal. I think they've done a good job with Dustin Rhodes so far in AEW.
Yeah, no, I agree. It has been good. Yes, and Keith with the new do tonight.
Yeah. I barely saw it. I was grabbing my Uber Eats order.
What'd you get from Uber Eats?
Chicken quesadillas.
Oh, okay. We got too many vegan tacos tonight delivered.
Oh, nice. Were they good? From where?
They were good. We got it from a place called Garden Grill, and they had like a steak one with like a vegan cream sauce. We had like a chicken teriyaki one. We had like a barbecue jackfruit, and then there was like a spicy jackfruit. And we just like sat there and ate all the vegan tacos. And then I was like, we could have made this. We could have made this ourselves. So that's our mission this weekend. That? Well, this weekend, so what we decided to do is we got a bunch of like the different frozen fake meats. We're going to make a bunch of taco filling and then just refrigerate and freeze it. And that way we can just heat it up, pop it in those low carb tortillas we like, Mr. Tortilla ones, and just do that, which will be about, like a fifth of the cost of what we spent.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You order Uber Eats and it's like, it's gonna be like $15, for example. And once you add in the tip and the fees, you like go on to 30 and you're just to eat.
Yeah, it's really insane. It's insane that we've all bought into that as something that's
Right.
normal. The idea that dinner for one being 30 or $35 is okay. Like, that's insanity.
I know, but it's always the fees. Like, I don't
I
think the
know.
price for the meal itself is crazy.
No, I know.
And
They're,
yes,
they're making the
Fernando, in
money.
the chat, Puerto Rico does have Uber Eats. It just depends on what area in the island you're in. Not every area in the island has Uber Eats.
Yeah, Sergio saying he had Del Taco today. Del Taco, you look at the bill and like, this is $15 of food, and I'm paying $15 in fees to get this $15
Right.
of food delivered to me. It's
Right,
crazy.
right. But
That's
sometimes the
crazy.
convenience, if you're busy, I had one of those days where it was back to back to back, something
Yeah.
work related. I didn't have the time to even so sometimes you pay for the convenience more than you do the food. A lot of the stuff that I order, just like you, is just something that I could make myself
I
for a
know.
lot cheaper.
You want to know what the laziest move is when you order pasta, because it's like, that's literally saying I didn't have the energy just to boil water and heat up sauce.
My lazy move is ordering Starbucks.
Oh, I've done that before.
And then I have to order and pay for the priority because my coffee ice and it's like 85 degrees here. I don't want it to get here melted. So I pay for the priority so it gets here right away.
What I love about ordering Starbucks is they have like a minimum order to not pay an extra surcharge. So I always have to
Right.
get like the chia pudding or something in addition to my latte.
Yeah.
That's how they get you, man. But no, I thought Rampage was good tonight. It's weird when it's on early though. Yeah, because I'm doing other stuff. We're getting ready to settle in for the evening. Like, it was weird timing.
I was doing
And
a
the
couple
ratings
of
could be
interviews
abysmal.
for Lucha Libre Online, so I had it on. I'm trying to interview and like keep my eye on Rampage at the same time, multitasking all day, every day.
Yeah, I feel you. But it's a 3-day weekend for most people. A lot of people took today. We took today partially off, so it was nice. But yeah, I was really looking forward to tonight and SmackDown. It's tough though, because I want to say it didn't disappoint, but at the same time, so there was one letdown. Paul Heyman made a big deal about the Usos staying home, saying you're going to see something on TV. You could see something on TV you don't see there. There was no blink and you miss it hidden thing tonight. They didn't really pay that off. I think that was a misdirect because the Usos are going to be in Canada
He says
tomorrow.
stay home to watch Elimination Chamber. He didn't specify you also got to watch SmackDown.
Oh, I thought it was SmackDown. I thought it was stay home next week. I thought it was stay home next
No,
week.
he says stay home he wanted them to watch Elimination Chamber from home.
They're
showing
up.
Show up?
They have to
You
show
think
up
so?
tomorrow night. They have to. I mean, the way this works, okay, look, if you just have Roman beat Sammy clean, people are going to throw lit garbage into the ring in Montreal. This will not be a good scene.
Did you watch Clash at the Castle?
Did you see that crowd tonight? This isn't going to be, I mean, this is going to be bad, man.
Yeah, guess what? They hadn't had a pay-per-view in the UK for a lot longer than Montreal, and they still did. I mean, maybe they'll fly in Tyler Fury to sing for the crowd afterwards. You think that'll make them
down a little bit? That was the weirdest thing in Clash of the Cash. I was kind of like,
he wasn't supposed to air. He wasn't supposed to air.
I mean, it was very much like, we don't know what's going to happen as a result of this. Please go out there and calm down the crowd. No, I think the Usos have to interfere. Kevin Owens comes
hold
out.
on. If you were tasked with the assignment of calming down the Montreal crowd after Roman beat Sami Zayn, what song would you sing them?
You know what's really weird? Okay, so I could name a lot of things in a lot of areas, and we've been talking a lot about international music lately. I have no clue. Oh, I did watch a little bit of Music Plus from the 90s recently, and all of the music that they were playing on there was super boring. So I don't know what's like a big French Canadian hit that would calm them down. Maybe they could just start singing the Canadian national anthem, or the anthem of Montreal.
If I was tasked with that, I would definitely sing Blame Canada from the South Park. Anyways.
I think some of Montreal would blame Canada as well. I mean, I was thinking about that tonight. I was thinking about like, for some reason when I think of Montreal, I think about the Quebecois, like Montreal separatist movement, and they want to like secede from the nation. Like, I don't know. I think some Montreal would blame Canada as well because they want to get out of there and break ties and just become a full French nation. But no, I don't know. I don't know what a big hit was that would calm people down in French Canada. Not sure what that is. But I think that crowd was so live tonight. But no, I think the natural conclusion of this, look, if we're getting Sami and Kevin versus the Usos at WrestleMania, then yes, the Usos have to come out. Kevin has to come out. They have Kevin and Sami standing tall at the end of this. That's how you calm the crowd down tomorrow night, even though Sami loses.
I mean, he's losing, so figure out how you calm them down.
He could win. He has a chance.
That's cute.
What if Roman? No, never mind.
No, what if Roman was, Glenn? Why are you trying to fight me?
What if Roman like decides during he's like, I really, just gotta go to the bathroom. Like, I'm just gonna get pinned.
Oh my god, like
this is over.
Mark Wahlberg on Rockstar. Remember when he gave the mic to the fan and said, "I really gotta go take a piss," and then he never came back.
It could happen. Yeah. What if Roman just like, you know what? Sami should win. I'm out.
And then he just starts wrestling in indie promotions in Pensacola, like the guy in Rockstar starts singing at the little bars.
It could happen. It could happen.
And he cuts his hair. Do you think? I'm sorry. Rockstar is one of my favorite movies
really?
of all time. So yeah, I love that movie.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, it's on my top 10.
Wait,
the wannabe who got to be. It's fun. It's fun.
It was okay. I don't know. I mean, the real story is the real story behind it with Judas Priest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I wish it had been a bit more authentic to that. I think when they started playing it for comedy is because I was expecting like a real thing about Tim Ripper Owens.
Yeah, agreed. But I just thought it's a fun concept, the way that the fan that got to be, because a lot of fans are so passionate. I'm one of them. I'm very passionate about certain things, so it's just fun to just see it from that perspective. That's probably why I like it. Maybe the movie itself is not executed at its best, but the concept of it really always intrigued me.
It is good.
And so Roman is gonna be like, here's the titles. I really gotta go take a piss, and he never comes back. Anyways,
that would be an epic end to the reign. Yeah, we could.
That is not how Roman Reigns Reigns ends. Okay, it never ends.
Well, here's what I was trying to think about today, and I just want to put this out there. This is gonna infuriate you. But I was like, before Takeover Brooklyn, were people saying, "Oh, Bayley doesn't stand a chance. Sasha's gonna retain." Like, come on. Like, there's no comparison here between the two.
Glenn, you're talking about NXT.
I know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious because I came in that was my re-entry point to wrestling, and I remember they set it up on the show like Bayley didn't stand a chance in hell. But I'm trying to remember what the sentiment was at the time. If people were speculating, or if it seemed just as crazy.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Roman Reigns' reign ending. Okay, it's not gonna end. In my book, Roman will win no matter who he's facing, no matter where they're at. So that's just what it is.
Okay, you're being very calm and measured with this. I think you've accepted the possibility that he could lose.
There's no possibility, but I did get a little excited when I heard Sami Zayn's old entrance theme. Not gonna lie, it got in my feels a little bit.
Okay, but I'm telling you this: if Sami shows up tomorrow night with the short, tight beard and a haircut, I'm gonna say I give that 50% more chance that he's winning.
Come on, Glenn. You and I both know that means that he's accepting that he's gonna die, and he doesn't want to go into the funeral home. Those people don't know how to cut your hair and make you look right. You end up looking like old Butch. So he's gonna take care of it before he dies. That way, he looks good for his funeral.
I want somebody to start a business, and I want to see the TV commercial for like the post-mortem stylist who's like, you think the funeral home knows how to cut your hair, do your makeup? You don't want to look like shit as you go into the afterlife. Hire me.
They always do such a bad job. Like, if something happens, so first of all, I don't want a funeral. Like, cremate me right away. No, I don't want nobody crying over me like gross. But have my friends coming and do my makeup. Don't let those people do it.
See, these are things no one talks about. Fat Matt $7 super chat saying Jay shows up in Sammy's corner. Sammy wins. Roman and Jay headlight night one for the title of Tribal.
I love the scenarios.
It is wrestling. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
you know. So tonight we opened with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Shotzi. Natalya getting that Canadian native daughter of the land pop tonight from the crowd.
Good for her. Good for her. I did like seeing Shayna and Ronda look more like a team. It really does look like we're gonna stick with them in the tag team division, and I'm not mad at that.
And Shotzi Blackheart, who is a she-wolf like Shakira.
Yep, and Shotzi tapped, not Natalya. So at least they didn't make Natalya lose in front of.
When she
her team lost, but she didn't lose.
When Natalya had Ronda in the sharpshooter, I was like, holy shit, they're gonna have Ronda Rousey tap out. Like, and I really thought, I was like, that's in their mind, that's their makeup for having Sammy lose, is that Natalya is gonna get this huge win. But that did not happen.
Yeah, also somebody brought it up in the chat that DDT that Ronda took. I thought Ronda was selling very well tonight during this match.
Yeah. John Jordan, $10 super chat. Thank you, John, saying late to the party, but I called TK Francis Buxton on this pod long ago and couldn't have been more right. POS on Ariel's show and embarrassed himself ever since. Does AEW not have a PR department? He's a child. Wow.
I was talking about that earlier, where it's just like you don't see other company owners or CEO tweeting that kind of way, right? Like,
well, there's one I can think of who tweets that kind of way. Who
are you talking about? Elon Musk? He doesn't count.
He wanted to tweet that way so bad he bought the platform.
That's DDE right there. But at the same time, I wonder if that's what the fan base likes about TK. That I don't like that kind of. I don't care about social media, honestly, but I don't like that kind of behavior from an executive.
Do you think WWE set up a fake Twitter app on Vince's phone so Vince thinks he's tweeting crazy things that are getting engagement, but nobody ever sees them?
I don't even think he knows what Twitter is.
Well, he wished Shane O'Mac that happy birthday.
Best
that
tweet he ever. Like Tony Khan should learn from that tweet.
Have your team do it.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Shane. That was it. Yo, that was the coldest.
I always think about it. The angriest I ever had a girlfriend get at me, and believe me, there have been times, but one time I got a birthday card and it was just like, wishing you a happy birthday, best wishes. And she was like, this is a card you give a coworker. Why are you giving this to me? I'm your girlfriend.
Did you see what Giselle, Tom Brady's ex, commented on his post when he announced retirement? And she was like, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And I'm like, damn, she gave her the HR email.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, we shouldn't discount that. Christopher Strikeleather saying TK is a child trapped inside an adult's body. Maybe it's a big situation. Maybe he switched bodies with a child. You know, he switched minds, like a Freaky Friday situation. And Tony Khan's really, like a 13-year-old boy in an adult's body.
Well, based on the fact that there's like not a lot of people watching wrestling, I doubt that a child will be tweeting about this.
I don't know.
Child, like if it's like a child trapped in an adult's body, you really think they're gonna know who Ariel Helwani is? Like it's.
I don't know. So yeah, Ronda and Shayna won this. I think they're gonna be winning those tag titles at Mania.
Agreed, or they're at least gonna go into a feud with Damage Control, which Damage Control needs. I keep on forgetting they're tag team champions.
It's true. John Jordan saying, Issa, you'd have Tony Khan in your office 5 times a week if you ran HR for that place.
I used to do HR, and let me tell you. That's probably why I cringe when I see some of the stuff that he tweets.
Oh, man. Hit Row tonight was out there.
Oh, man.
Dropping bars on Montreal and Canada.
Did you like the bars?
There was no Degrassi reference. I was a little disappointed in that. But they said they talked about poutine. Yeah, well, you're gonna badmouth poutine. But they were gonna Maple leave the country. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
It was clever actually, but then attacked by Bray Wyatt.
I love when they call Canada. They call Montreal Canada side bitch because Toronto is the main girl.
It was actually really good. I mean, you want to talk about maximizing your minutes? They absolutely maximized that 60 seconds they were allowed to wrap on the air tonight. But Yeah, Bray and Uncle Howdy are now fully in cahoots, working together and attack them.
Okay, but before you talk about that, like, who maximized his hate for Top Dollar? It was Michael Cole who still got a shot at Top Dollar as Bray's getting him off the
Yeah.
top rope. He's like, well, at least he went over the top rope that time. And I was like, Michael Cole, stop being so petty.
I know. And for a second, I was like, "Oh shit, Hit Row's gonna feud with Bray." I'm like, I want to hear those
I
bars.
thought so too. I thought so too. No, that wasn't the case. So we're here to set something else up.
I know.
Which, how do you feel about that? Bray Wyatt comes out with Uncle Howdy. Bray takes off the mask. So I don't know if you thought how the mask. I did for a second. Did you?
So here's the thing with I think Uncle Howdy. Now he's got to say mask. If you see that that's Bo Dallas, like gimmick over. Like that's just not interesting at that point. But here's the thing. He's saying, okay, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, whoever wins your match, like I'm coming for you. Here's the problem.
He said
run, yeah. But here's the problem. Do you see Brock putting up with this shit? I think Brock's just gonna be like, F this, you know?
Well, I remember back in like 2015, I think it was, when they teased that Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar feud and we all wanted it.
Yeah.
The Wyatt family eliminated him from the Rumble, and then he had that handicap match at Roadblock against Luke Harper and Bray, but Bray never got in the ring, so we never really saw an interaction between Brock and Bray. Back then, I was dying for this feud. I don't know how I feel about it now, but Brock is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is gonna do Bray any favors. Now, what if Bray adds more people to his table and it's the Wyatt Six against the Hurt Business?
Is that ever happening?
Yeah, but they're teasing that the Hurt Business are reuniting. So what if Bobby Lashley gets the win and that's the direction that we go in?
Okay. I want to see Brock do Firefly Funhouse promo.
He will destroy that place.
Could you imagine Brock without Paul Heyman going toe to toe with Bray Wyatt on the mic? That I'm here for.
I can. He's been great. I think Brock has been great lately.
Yeah, Brock will steal the puppets. It'll be awesome.
Yep.
But I don't think I mean I think maybe Lashley's gonna
Bray pulls up at the Firefly Funhouse, comes in, and Brock is sitting there having steak.
Yeah, absolutely. He's sitting there eating huskus, you know?
Oh God.
It could work.
I'm curious. We'll see where it goes. Bray needs something.
He does desperately at this point.
I just didn't think this was going to be the direction that we're going with him. That shocked me a little bit, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, what did you think of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus beating up the Viking Raiders tonight?
It was a banger of a match.
Good.
I like the match. I'm just not invested into the Viking Raiders as of right now.
No,
Sheamus and Drew as a tag team, I like, but the Viking Raiders are still not really doing much for me.
Yeah, I mean, Drew and Sheamus need some better competition, but I guess there's no one else they could really be going against right now.
Right.
With the Viking, I mean, whatever. You know, they're good wrestlers, but yeah, this gimmick is just it is what it is. Very good match though, and I thought it could have gone either way, but I think Drew and Sheamus getting that win, it's like, to what end? Like, where do they go?
Do you not think that Drew McIntyre counting down the Claymore is stupid?
Yeah,
you're letting your you see when he started counting it down, then the one they got out of the way, and then when the match finished with a Claymore without a countdown, just kind of out of nowhere. I feel like that finisher should be like an out of nowhere. I get that you like to get the crowd involved, but I would prefer to see the Claymore just kind of like come out of nowhere. I think it will be more impactful.
Yes, it's like if someone says to you though, like, I'm gonna count to 10, and I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. I mean, I should be able to block that or run away.
Exactly. He's like 3, 2. Like, even when he finishes the countdown and he hits it, I almost blame it on his opponent for it's like, okay, well, you stood there. You knew what was coming. You heard 15,000 people count down. Like, come on.
Stellar Justin Lopez with a $9.99 super chat that used to be enough to subscribe to the WWE Network. Justin Lopez saying, I was in the theater watching Ant-Man 3 mid-movie, Glenn. The MCU was slowly losing its magic. Wow.
Yeah.
Look down at my phone and WTF, Bray is facing Lashley or Brock at WrestleMania. Might as well give us Gunther versus Brock.
Well, yeah, you don't know who's gonna win. If Bobby Lashley wins, then that's the direction Bray's going in. But I don't think you want to bring Brock in a feud against Gunther after a loss.
Yeah,
Nothing makes sense right now.
it's true. I'm going to see Ant-Man 3 at the drive-in on Sunday night. So
Don't waste your money.
I like the Ant-Man movies.
Okay.
I like Paul Rudd. This Kang, I'm getting curious about the Kang thing and how they're building it up.
It's just like you said Sunday, right? Like, how do
Yeah.
you want to go? Like, you're gonna be disappointed after the pay-per-view tomorrow when your favorite loses, and then you're gonna go watch a movie that might disappoint you. Like, that's what you want to set up your weekend to be. That's on you, Glenn.
I just got a bunch of Timbirici CDs in the mail that aren't online, including Timbirici Classico, which is them with the Mexican Symphony Orchestra redoing their hits from the late
Beautiful.
80s. You know, yeah, I'm gonna
Beautiful.
play that.
I
I'm
still
gonna use
find
that
it hilarious that you listen to more Spanish music than me.
I know. Well, our new podcast and YouTube series soon is going to blow people's minds,
Yeah.
or they will be completely indifferent to it.
Yeah. Either way, but we'll have fun.
It's going to be fun. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. Fat Matt $2 saying Wyatt family versus the Hurt Business.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That makes the most sense. Although with Brock, it's such a weird idea that I can't help but fantasy book that in my head.
Right.
Justin Lopez $4.99 saying I agree with Issa that this is Triple H making it up to Bray for not getting his match with Brock at WrestleMania 32. They dropped him for Ambrose.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the feud, and people were into it. But at the same time, we all know Brock had UFC 200 in his mind at that time. So I don't know.
That was a weird match.
I don't know who Brock would have gone at WrestleMania 32. I think he would have just wrestled the exact same way, you know, like not very invested because he was thinking about doing that UFC appearance.
WrestleMania 32, we were all there.
God. Yeah, we were.
There were some good matches, and there was a lot of like, I'm going to get up and go explore the stadium and see what that has to offer.
What was your favorite match?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah. With the crazy finish, nobody was expecting
Zack Ryder
to win that.
Was. Yeah. I mean, the reaction from the audience.
I thought the women stole the show. I like the women's match
was really good too. Well, I really want. Yeah, I didn't like how they just completely treated Becky like a nothing. Like Sasha had Snoop, Charlotte had the big entrance, and then Becky was like, "And
but they did the same thing. They did the same thing for Becky at WrestleMania 35 when she won the two belts. They had Ronda had the live entrance. They had Charlotte come in the helicopter, and Becky just came out.
Yeah, the women's match was my second favorite of that. But no, I thought with Stardust doing the Dusty tribute with the ladder, Sammy and Kevin, that match was just so much fun to watch live. The problem with WrestleMania 32, I'm sorry, it's that takeover the night before, which we were also at, and Shinsuke,
Sammy and freaking Shinsuke. That's something I'll never forget.
Like easily top 3 matches I've seen live.
Somebody asked me not too long ago to do like my favorite matches that I've seen live, like do like a top 10 for my YouTube channel, and it's taking me forever to put it together because there's been so many. But that one always makes the list. Like there's no way that I'm gonna leave out Shinsuke versus Sammy. I love seeing that match live.
And I was really lucky that I was at Evolution for Becky versus Charlotte.
Oh, I love that match too. I was there too, Glenn.
You were at Evolution? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was in New York, bro.
Dude, we flew. We bought tickets for Evolution, and we did like a 36-hour round trip to New York to go there. That was insane. But that match was amazing.
And by the way of it, I thought it was going to become a yearly thing, but it didn't. So it makes it more special that we got to be there for it because it was awesome.
I remember most of it, but like we saw Mean Girls on Broadway earlier that day. I remember nothing about that experience because I was so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a cool event. But so good for Drew and Sheamus getting this win. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Do you think there's gonna be like a tag team mayhem match or something at Mania? Like, I feel like
no, because if we're gonna do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I don't know. We'll see where the story goes. But if the direction was to go into Sami and Kevin versus the Usos, where does that leave all of these other teams for in the meantime?
In the Andre?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. That's not even a WrestleMania anymore. Now they do it the night before.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, this was kind of a fun promo. We had Mysterio and Santos Escobar giving each other their masks.
I'm so glad they showed it because last week they made it a digital exclusive, and a lot of A lot of people voice on social media like, why didn't you show this? It was awesome. Viva la lucha libre. I love that moment between them.
But then Karrion Kross went up to Ray and said, I no longer want to have kids, and see how shitty your life is as a father and how your son treats you.
Honestly, same. That's how I learned when I was like, oh, I see all my friends having kids and they have no life. Maybe I don't want to go in that direction.
They should show this to help prevent teen pregnancy. Show this to the teenagers. Like, look how terrible Ray's being treated by his child who's bigger than he is and beats him up. You know, why would you want to do this to yourself?
How is Dominic treating him bad? I mean, technically speaking, Rhea Ripley paid the tab for the Mysterios at Valentine's Day.
You know what's funny is I've been running all this stuff through Google Translate on lyrics, and with mommy, it always translates it into mom in English. And I'm like, I don't think that's how Guyana meant it in this song. Like, yeah, no. really breaks up the
same way that sometimes we call the Roman Reigns daddy. We're not calling him the father.
So yes, Karrion Kross doesn't want to have children anymore.
Good for him.
Asuka versus Liv Morgan, and this turned into.
Wait, did we talk about the video package for the Bloodline?
No, we should talk about that.
Oh my god, did it not get you in your feels a little bit? Like the fact that they started in April, and like to go back and see how it started and how we all thought Sammy was gonna hang out with them for a couple of weeks, and now it's the biggest story in wrestling. It's crazy.
Okay, so this is where it depends on how it ends. Because if this ended with Sami Zayn becoming champion, I would say this is the best storyline I've ever seen in the world of professional wrestling.
End, but okay.
But if it ended that way, I would say this is the best storyline I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
Yeah, because you're a Sami Zayn fan.
But don't you think?
No. Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry.
There are people. This is what I love about this. 2016, I started doing this podcast. For years, I've been saying Sami Zayn, real life, major baby face, super entertaining, talented wrestler. So many people are on board the Sami Zayn train at this point. This storyline has made them invested. So if you could pay off everybody's emotional investment in Sami Zayn, you've developed this story where you've built up this underdog who now has a chance to get a moment of triumph. Now, if they use this to solidify Roman and gets beat by Cody, the Cody story is good, but it's not.
Neither one of them is beating Roman.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something, Glenn. I've been back and got back into wrestling since before 2014 because of Roman Reigns. So your case is the same as mine. I had to deal with people booing him, hating him, saying he wasn't the guy. Now they're all aboard the train, stand clear the closing doors, the tribal chief. You see them throwing their ones up after they boo him. It's the same situation. I'm enjoying. I went through years of, you know what? Fun fact. We're just talking about WrestleMania 32. Grown men booed my nephew, who was like 16 at the time, for wearing a Roman Reigns shirt. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is happening? So you have to understand, like, I see your point, but I need you to see it from my point too. This is a historic reign. We don't see reigns like this. It shouldn't just end because people like this guy.
Well, hold on a second. But with Cody, that's the argument. Oh, he's coming back. He's doing it for his father.
Cody's not ending it either.
Okay, but then here's the question, okay? So we just went from having a year-long Roman Reigns storyline with Bloodline that was incredible. Okay, a year and a half. So it started with Jimmy and Jay, transferred to Sami Zayn. Now we've got Cody. It's a bit of a hot shot. It's a good hot shot, but it's still like a 6-week feud. Where do we go if Roman Reigns retains? Where do we go? Do we just go into another like Drew McIntyre feud or something that's just kind of filler?
We go into 1,000 days of Roman Reigns as Universal Champion, the biggest celebration in history.
Okay, so imagine back when FDR was president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, president of this country through World War II. They didn't have term limits then, so he got elected to 4 terms as president. Can you imagine how boring politics were when they were like, oh yeah, we got the president, we love the president, he's going to run for election again, he'll get elected again. Like, It's nice.
That doesn't even make any sense that you're
No,
comparing this.
because you need competition. Everything has to come to an end, or
Okay,
else it just kind of runs into oblivion.
so somebody needs to step up. That's not Roman Reigns' fault that nobody can be at his level.
Okay, you're aware this is a predetermined sport where things are scripted.
Right.
Like they can write something. And when actually, no, you just made the point though. You actually just made the point though that I was trying to make, which is that they can write this. And oftentimes it's like, oh, Drew McIntyre, yeah, we're into that, but
No, Drew wasn't it. Drew wasn't it. Nothing has felt like this feels. I will give you that.
Okay, so you have Sammy, and then people are like, oh, Cody can't beat that. But it's like, no, Cody's rising to the occasion as well. So now what you're suggesting is they have to now, they've just did 2 in a row where they couldn't come up with an interesting opponent since maybe like Daniel Bryan. I mean, the Brock thing was okay for a bit, but it also kind of been there, done that. So now we got to come up with a third. Like they got to have the hat trick and come up with a third magic
The person that
feud.
should dethrone Roman Reigns should be Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But people are not ready to have that conversation yet. After that match that they had at the Rumble, I wouldn't be opposed for it to be Roman Reigns. I mean, Seth Rollins. Roman has not beaten Seth on pay-per-view. Seth got the DQ win over Roman, and then they went nowhere with that because they kind of like fit Seth in there for a second. I think it will make sense. I will hope that he beats both Sammy and Cody, and we move on to that story.
Okay. I think that's okay. I like Seth, but I think Seth is more powerful doing his own, because there are very few guys right now. Seth's already beat Roman. Seth's already at Roman's level because he has defeated him multiple times in the past. We need to bring up more people. So for Sammy or Cody, if like, okay, let's say it's going to be Cody, which Alfred is convinced it's going to be. Getting Cody to that level is good.
Yeah, but he's not here tonight. We don't have to give him credit
okay.
for being delusional. Like, he's delusional. You and I both know it. We just don't tell him when he's here. I think if you want me to be honest, and that's not because Alfred's not here, if it had to happen, I will say that I would rather it be Sammy than Cody. I do think the Sammy story makes more sense than Cody.
But Sammy is at that. This would solidify Sammy at that level. It's not like, trading a Rolex for a Casio, as it were. This will be bringing a new champ that's really earned it, that's come up. We need more at the top. And Cody, I think Cody's almost that. Part of the reason why I argue Sammy is better, I feel like Cody's already kind of there in the eyes of the fans. Like if you split the titles, Cody could be the main champ on Raw, and then we have a main champ on SmackDown. Cody can hold that down, but I think we need to bring up more to that.
Where do you go with Sammy? Sammy wins. Where do you go with him?
Kevin.
Jey Uso.
Well, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens. Sammy versus Kevin on the major level.
You want us to go into a match that we've seen a million times.
Yeah, basically. But this is now Kevin's kind of like the guy who was just always a hair short of there, right? So there's a story because Kevin could be like, I was the original Universal Champion. I've had championships in this company, but people never scream my name that way. You came in, you weaseled your way in, you manipulated this. You got what you wanted. You took what should have been my spot. Like, that's deep storytelling.
Deep storytelling that we sing 100,000 times.
When's the last time these guys were in a feud together? It's been quite a while.
I mean, they were feuding just now. This is why Kevin Owens got that shot at the Rumble.
Yeah, but they weren't really.
Because Kevin Owens kept telling him the bloodline is not with you.
Yeah, but that's not a feud. That's like, bro, I'm looking out for you, bro. Why don't you listen to me, bro?
You and I both know that he was involved. He was involved. We even though Kevin was used to set this up. But no. I will say, I just don't know where you will go with anyone, honestly. Like, if we're talking about Romans, Cody, or Sammy, I don't know where we go from here, but I'm having fun in this journey, and I don't want it to end. So
okay,
I get that Cody winning the Rumble is a big deal, and he should go on to main event WrestleMania, but the Bloodline story happened while you were not here, and it's just, it's weird. I'd rather go in this direction than that direction. I will say that, but I don't think that either one of them dethrones Roman.
Well, okay, so Gunther is an option. And I don't know. I think
he's got the IC title. Keep him over there.
Okay. Cross could have been.
Oh, come on, Glenn.
Could have been. I said could have been.
You crossed the line, Glenn. Oh, I said cross. I didn't even mean that.
Bigfoot Sneakerhead 499 saying, been a long time, Glenn. Hope all is well. Hi, Issa. Do you think there will be a triple threat match at WrestleMania with Cody, Sammy, and Roman?
Possibly.
Depends on tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, the reaction for Sammy tonight was something special, man.
Actually, you know what it depends on? It doesn't depend on tomorrow night. It depends on what happens in the coming weeks. If Sammy is still getting this kind of reaction, I think they will seriously consider making it a triple threat at Mania.
They done it before. Cody said he's not against it. You know, they did it when Edge won the Rumble and they snuck Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan in there. I don't see it not happening either. I'm not discarding it. I'm not discarding it. And like I said, what order is Roman gonna put them? Is he gonna put Sammy at the bottom and Cody on top and then stack them and pin them? You know, he's done this before. It's gonna be great.
Sergio Cadenas saying Cross needs to gain some momentum again. He needs to win the Andre. I mean, is winning the Andre a ticket to anywhere?
Who won it last year?
That's the thing. I remember when Baron Corbin won. I think Cesaro
It was
won.
Madcap. It was Madcap
well, there you
last
go.
year.
Speaking
And
of
he
which,
has done nothing until tonight.
yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So we had Asuka versus Liv Morgan, which was I mean, Asuka got the win.
I loved everything.
This
about
was
this
so
segment.
much fun with all the other
Yeah.
female competitors. I mean, we had Raquel coming out there, we had Carmella on commentary. We had Nikki coming out and like she was like slobbering over Michael Cole. Like
She was sitting on Way's lap, like she
Yeah.
was. Oh, I thought Nikki Cross killed the ear. I love Carmella too. When Raquel came out and she was like, "Oh, you're really strong. Let me see your muscles. Show your muscles." I was like, "What is happening? Why are we having fun? We're allowed
This
to
was
have fun."
fun.
Because I thought this was a very fun segment. Asuka, her makeup, and she has to this match or go on to face Bianca.
Yeah, I think Asuka versus Bianca is going to be amazing at WrestleMania.
I do think it's gonna come down because Liv and Asuka, outside of everything going on the outside, which was a lot of fun, I did think that Liv and Asuka put on an incredible match. Liv has really grown on my radar recently. Excuse me, in the ring.
He
She's
Ronda
gotten
twice.
so good. Yeah, and I shut up. That doesn't even count. But I think it's gonna come down to the two of them, and they were the last two standing after all the women did their thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we haven't had one of these lately, male or female, where you have just these multi-person matches and they're kind of having fun and it's a little goofy, but it amplifies it. I like this. This is my favorite thing about when they do this for Money in the Bank. I love that they're doing this for the Chamber. This was just a fun segment. I like that everyone is a character. And this is going to be,
they're also different. I love that too tonight. Like it felt like the women's division in WWE is great, and I have fun with all these women tonight. And I hope that Liv Morgan does get number one tomorrow because they did her dirty at the Rumble, giving her number two when she was begging for number one. Maybe she'll go number one tomorrow.
It's crazy that she's got the record for being in the most women's elimination chamber matches.
Yeah, she's done a lot. She's done a lot. People sleep on Liv Morgan, but she's been in pretty much every Rumble too, if I'm not mistaken.
She's great.
Mm-hmm.
Longtime fan of hers. I think
you've always loved Liv Morgan. You've been somebody who's put her over. I think her performance at the Rumble really turned things around for a lot of people. She was there just a few seconds short of Rhea Ripley. So,
although my frustration is, and I wish I had video of this. Early on, she used to do this leg lock flip where she would grab her opponent and whip them around the ring. She was doing that early NXT. I don't know why she stopped doing that. It was the most badass move.
It's the same with, I don't know if she's doing it anymore or not, but Carmella used to have that weird submission finish with her leg. Like she would do that weird thing, and she stopped doing it for a little bit. And I love that finish.
And, you know, knowing a little bit of a behind the scenes story, Carmella versus Liv, it is still an amazing feud because Enzo used to hype that and be like, like Carmella is basically doing the kayfabe version of the life that Liv lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think they'd be great together at some point, maybe even as a tag team. Fat Matt $5 saying it blows my mind that a year ago Sammy was in a goof match with Johnny Knoxville. Now his main event for the championship against Roman Reigns.
I hate to tell you that goof match was one of my most favorite things in WrestleMania. The feud leading up to it, I enjoyed. Remember when Johnny Knoxville put Sami Zayn's phone number on a plane? Sami Zayn went to his hometown to interview people. Like, I have fun. The thing about Sami Zayn, before that, I was doing the conspiracy. Like, you have to give him credit for making anything that they give him work. And maybe he's a little too good at his job, because I don't know if the bloodline was supposed to go as far as it's done.
Yeah.
Like, we will never know. But I guarantee you that it might have been something that they threw to see if it stick. And Sami Zayn can make anything that you give him stick. Like, I give him all the props for that. It doesn't matter what he's on, he makes it work. As ridiculous as it is.
So let me ask you this, Issa. Roman Reigns calls you in the middle of the night.
God.
And he's like, hey, Issa, here's the deal. I just need some time.
Is it on FaceTime? Is it on FaceTime?
Yeah. And he's like, I just need some time alone. I'm not paying attention to you. I'm not paying attention to my children. I'm not paying attention to my family. I just need some time off. Sammy's going to win. So imagine you're okay with that. And you digest that. And you say, Roman, I understand. This is good for you and me. But, not good for the championship. But there's an upside. You have to admit, Sami Zayn as champion would be just nonstop entertaining storylines. With him paranoid, that everyone's out to get him, with just craziness happening. Like, Sami would be a thoroughly entertaining championship run.
He's not Roman Reigns.
Different though. Different kind of thing.
I know what you're saying, but no. Roman is not gonna call me and say that, because he ain't no pussy. He's not walking away from his titles.
Wait, is that what you would say if Roman calls you in the middle of the night? He's like, need some time off? And you'd be like, you fucking
pussy.
Get in there. You get back in the ring. Yeah, what are you doing?
Be like, what do you need time off for? You only wrestle like 6 times a year now. Like, what the hell are you doing? That's literally what I will say to him. I'm the least loving person in the world, Glenn. I've told you this.
Okay, Roman, you just became significantly less attractive in my eyes, because I'm not attracted to quitters.
I love our imagination.
I'm just saying Sammy would be a very entertaining champion.
I love the way that you pitched that, though. Like, you know me very well. You're like, he calls you on FaceTime. Like, I get it, but no, he's not doing that. I'm not letting him quit.
Well, I am shocked tonight that Madcap Moss had such a competitive match against Gunther. I really looked at my phone and I was like, so Madcap's just going to get squashed in 2 minutes, right? But
nope.
Yeah, this was competitive. I mean, Gunther still won.
Gunther is becoming someone that is putting on a good match against everybody. That kind of person that he's going to win, but you still look forward to the matches. This felt like a big coming out party for Madcap that he needed, because after the whole pairing with Corbin, he's been very directionless. I love his performance here. Gunther was selling for him. Like, it was very well done. However, at some point, people started looking at the time and they started chanting for Sami Zayn. And did you notice it kind of had like a rough, like 1, 2, 3 moment, after they were kind of going. So I wonder if they call an audible just to let Sami come out a little bit sooner, because the crowd was getting antsy to see their hometown hero. But the match, incredible. Love the performance by Madcap. And again, Gunther is becoming somebody that you just look forward to his matches, regardless of who they're against. They're good.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they go. I know Alfred and the people have predicted that he will drop that title at Mania and then challenge Cody. And that'll be...
He can't drop it. Like, how do you have him drop it? Like, you can't lose and then have him go and challenge for a bigger title. You got to do it differently.
Yeah.
Let him, let him... I don't want to say relinquish it, but it's got to be some kind of way he can pass it on to somebody on
He's just
Imperium.
Like, here, Imperium, one of you take this.
Yeah, here you go. I'm going to go move on to bigger things and then let one of them lose. I don't know. I don't want to see Gunther lose to go on to challenge for the main championship. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, we did hear from Sami Zayn in this main event tonight, and this crowd was electric.
How do you feel when you heard the song, Glenn?
Misty-eyed.
Yeah.
Seeing the reaction on his face, him being in his hometown. My only note, he came out looking a little solemn. So tomorrow, I want Sammy, you got to trim the beard, get a haircut. When you come out tomorrow night, it better be like when you wrestled John Cena in Montreal, that you were just amped and hyped.
We almost had the same accident. He almost fell down when he was getting on the top ropes. Remember, he got injured, like fist pumping when he wrestled John Cena. I was like, he gets too excited in Montreal. He needs to chill.
It's the Goldberg problem. Of sometimes you get so enthusiastic you end up injuring yourself.
All I could think about was that injury that he got against John Cena in Montreal. And I was like, when I saw him almost fall from the ropes, I was like, okay, Sammy, breathe, buddy. Like, breathe. We need you tomorrow. I will say, hearing his entrance music, the pop from the crowd, It went for what, almost 7 minutes that they didn't
Yeah.
let him talk.
Yeah.
You don't see that every day, and that to me is better than 100 technical good matches in the ring. You know what I mean? The storytelling to build to that moment. I get it. We want to see some good wrestling, but man, storytelling is where it's at.
It is. And yeah, I can't wait to see how they resolve this tomorrow night for the time being.
Something. I like your idea of him and Kevin Owens kind of uniting just to send the crowd home happy.
Yeah.
I
They're
mean,
going to need that.
I don't understand why you want to send the crowd home happy. Like, I don't understand why they support this behavior. This man betrayed his best friend and we're cheering for it. Like, Roman gave him the world and he betrayed him by hitting him with a chair in the back, and people are just like clapping for this. Like, even you, Glenn, like, I don't understand
hold on
what's
a
wrong
second.
with everybody.
Hold on a second. So if you look at that video package,
Uh-huh.
he didn't. You're making it seem like out of nowhere, like this was the breakup of the Shield, and Sammy was like, "I'm gonna teach that Roman guy a lesson." That wasn't what happened. Roman, he thought Roman was being excessively brutal to KO.
No, he didn't. He was rooting for Kevin Owens that entire match. You saw
he
it.
wasn't. He wasn't. And what he was saying was like, "This man has a family. You've beat this man. Why must you damage and torture this man?" Roman,
because
I think he's had enough.
He asked for it.
And then Roman said, "No, Sammy, you torture this man and brutalize this man."
He should have done as he was told.
And
like
look his wife
boy.
and child in the eye the next time you see them and say, "I'm the one who did this to Kevin." And Roman threatened Sammy, and Sammy snapped, because Sammy, you're forgetting, Sammy, part of the reason he's the ultimate underdog, and part of the reason why he's a bastion of hope and goodwill and just noble spirit of humanity, is because
I only hope that he loses. So I don't
know. Well, he has a strong belief in right and wrong. And he was with the bloodline until he realized that what Roman was doing was excessive. It was cruel.
No, it
and
wasn't.
that sometimes
he was rooting for Kevin Owens the entire match.
Sometimes
he knew he was going to turn.
To prove that you're the most dominant and most powerful person, you know what sometimes the most powerful quality you can have is mercy. And when you've won, saying I've won and not saying I need to just do this further. So Sammy was just standing up for what he believes is right. And, he listened to what was in his heart, and I respect him for it.
That's cute. That's not what happened. Sami Zayn was rooting for Kevin Owens the entire match because he knew he was going to be turning on Roman Reigns that night.
I don't know. Dear Jason, Sammy is the people's champ.
You people, not me. He ain't my champ.
Roman might not be either if he calls you tonight in the middle of the night and he's just like, "Issa, I got to take some time off."
He's not gonna. No. Roman, did you not see his TikTok when he said neither Sammy or Cody stand a chance? Come on.
Because it's going to be a triple threat. It could happen.
Imagine Roman loses the title without even being pinned. We're all been waiting for this moment that somebody finally defeats Roman Reigns and he doesn't even get pinned.
And I hate to say it. I mean, I feel bad that it'll probably be Sammy, but that's actually one of the most logical, regardless of how you feel, that's one of the most logical arguments for the triple threat.
Yeah, I gotta tell you something to James' comment in the chat. I was conflicted. This moment for Sammy and the home crowd in Montreal, it felt special. And regardless of what side you lay, like as a fan, everybody knows Roman is my favorite. That's not gonna change. Every once in a while you watch something wrestling when you're like, man, this is special. Let me take it in. It felt that way tonight for Sami Zayn in Montreal. I love what he had to say. Like, everybody worries about WrestleMania. No, for me, this is the most important pay-per-view because it's here. It was so perfectly done until like his voice cracked when he tried to say, "Roman, you're going down," and people were like, the emotion. No, it's because he knows he's capping everybody. He couldn't even say it.
I mean, Canada has their own Thanksgiving a month before American Thanksgiving, and tomorrow night is Canadian WrestleMania. And it's going to be epic.
It's going to be great. He's going to lose, and we're all going to acknowledge him.
Now, if Sami Zayn wins, that just means maybe Roman can challenge him for a rematch at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, Glenn. You keep believing. Don't stop believing.
Predictable is boring. Predictable is boring.
Yep, sure.
Isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, Sammy started speaking in tongues too during his promo.
It was French. It was French.
I'm bilingual too. It was awesome. It was an awesome special moment. I was happy to see the emotion. It felt real, and you can't fake that. You can't script that. You can't write that. It was great.
Yeah. So tomorrow night's going to be good. I'm not doing this podcast tomorrow night. I'm tuning in for Elimination Chamber. Put it on my calendar. Can't wait. Sami Zayn in
It's
Montreal.
stacked. It's stacked. The U.S. title inside the chamber, and women's #1 contender. You have Brock and Bobby. You have Roman and Sammy. I am very excited for tomorrow's event.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So tune into Wrestling Inc. after for all the live coverage. Like I said, if Sammy wins, I'm ambushing this podcast tomorrow night. Can't
If
keep
Sammy
me off
wins,
it.
you're gonna cover in for me because I'm not showing my face.
What will you be doing if Sami Zayn wins tomorrow?
I don't need to worry about that, Glenn.
I mean,
Why would I make plans? Like, it's not gonna happen.
I don't know. You never know. It's professional wrestling. So I feel bad Rampage was on so early tonight. The Dustin Swerve match was great. The Elite Trios match was great. Rampage is challenged in so many ways. But SmackDown tonight, man, that go home. I don't know how you could have seen that tonight and not just be like counting down the hours until tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Well, that'll do it for tonight. Follow Issa on the Twitters. She's at NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. And hey, if you like the show, like, share, subscribe, leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment below. Let us know who you think is going to win tomorrow night, Sami Zayn or Roman Reigns. Hey, it rhymes.
Roman's going to win.
And we'll see you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Happy Elimination Chamber Eve, everyone. We will see you soon.